side by side. Republican presidential candidates Donald Trump and Ted Cruz are trading punches on Twitter. Trump took aim after Cruz told people at a private fundraiser that Trump's judgment and electability rule him out as Oval Office material. The negativity ramped up when Trump said on Fox News Sunday that Cruz acts like a little bit of a maniac in the Senate. Cruz replied with a tweet linked to a YouTube video of the song Maniac from the movie Flashdance. Cruz is now leading Trump in the latest Iowa polls, and the two will be side by side on stage during tomorrow's CNN debate. The Hawaii Department of Health says it has issued a recall on frozen raw oysters that were imported from Korea. The DOH says the oysters have been linked to causing norovirus. Deadlines are steadily approaching for getting those holiday packages off to your friends and relatives who live elsewhere, but delivery service officials say you also need to pay attention to how you're packing those parcels. John Burton is a senior center manager with FedEx office in Atlanta, and he says to take precautions, especially if packing breakables.
Make sure you use some of the bubble cushioning to protect the item. If it's a super fragile item, then you'll want to put that in a box and secure it with packing paper around it.
Burton says for the really fragile stuff, pack it and then put that box inside another. Burton says the deadline to ship by FedEx Ground is December 16th and the Express deadline is December 23rd. Those are the last dates for guaranteed delivery. For breaking news, we're at westernjournalism.com. I'm Melody Burkett.
Fox Sports Trending now.
Colts got lit up Sunday by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and today there are several reports out there that are saying that the Colts are not optimistic that quarterback Andrew Luck will be able to play Week 15 against the Houston Texans. The Texans got smoked by the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football, 27-6, and in that game, Brian Hoyer was knocked out of it because of a concussion. Green Bay Packers have signed defensive end Mike Daniels to a 4-year extension. It's going to pay him a nice $42 million over the course of that contract. Khalil Mack had 5 sacks as the Raiders blitzed the Broncos 15-12. In the NBA, Cleveland Cavaliers guard Kyrie Irving is ready to get back in the court, according to multiple sources, but will not play Tuesday against the Boston Celtics. And tennis star Serena Williams has been named Sports Illustrated Spokesperson of the Year. I'm Jimmy Gascon.
Sundays, I like to just figure out what I want to eat and then Google best whatever. Best pancake, best chicken, best salad, best whatever the hell it is that I want. I want to know what the best is, and I want to know where I can go eat it. I love that. The interwebs is so cool for that. I love being able to get knowledge at your fingertips. I love knowing exactly how long it's going to take me to get there given the traffic. All of that is freaking fantastic and wonderful. But one thing that digital media does, Facebook, Google, all of the above, is it brings people together that think alike. Now, that too, in some ways, is incredibly valuable. Look, people that feel alone, I don't know, maybe a gay kid in a small town that gets his ass kicked on a regular basis. Maybe he finds companionship on the internet that makes him feel less alone, more secure, more okay with himself or herself. You ever watch that documentary on bronies, the guys that are into My Little Ponies? The internet has managed to connect them to other people that make them feel at home, comfortable with themselves, when they've been they've been cast out by a lot of their friends and family because they have this particular interest. Not one which I understand, but man, wouldn't it be horrible if you liked a specific cartoon, you really got a lot out of it, and for whatever the hell reason that made you an outcast, that made people throw things at your car because of the decals on it? Watch that documentary. It's an interesting one. And the internet being able to connect people like that to one another, well, I do believe there's value in that. Also, harebrained people that believe the craziest, most radical, most extreme ideologies, whether it's on the far Christian right or whether it's on the ISIS beheady side of the spectrum, completely the other opposite end of the room. Whatever the case may be, all you got to do is go online and you can find lots of people that agree with you, no matter what the hell it is you think. And what's interesting is the internet. The internet was supposed to be this thing that was supposed to bridge gaps of understanding, bring people as a whole closer together. And now, because everything's so predictive, because Google wants to connect you with things and people that are exactly like you, so you purchase stuff, you're being put in a room full of people, essentially, that think exactly the way you do. And that's kind of boring. With all this emphasis being placed on being an individual, being connected to a room full of people, being put in touch with a room full of people that keep you in this bubble, keep you in this area where your mind isn't thinking, it isn't learning, it isn't understanding beyond a person's experience who is basically the exact same as you. Well, you're not really growing a whole lot as a result of it, are you? No, you're not. So I would encourage you to seek out people that you maybe don't agree with. I would encourage you to maybe talk to people whose ideologies are a little different than yours and celebrate those differences and realize that they are what makes us as a species great. And we can't let Google, as nifty as it is, take that away from us. Too much agreement kills the chat. Eldridge Cleaver.
Sunshine coming my way. Nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day. Perfect day. Sunshine coming my way. Nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day. Perfect day. Woke up about 10 with puppies on my face, saying Dad gotta join the human race. Time for a yawn and a stretch and a walk, you see. They know my order at the restaurant across the street. That's why when I shuffle in, my coffee's already waiting for me. Breeze on the patio, outdoor table, sitting with my puppies, Homer and Mabel, wondering how the rest of the day will be. Just then the kid stops by and Homer jumps up to say hi. Laughing kids and happy dogs, and yeah, that's kinda all you need. Sunshine coming my way. Nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day. Perfect day. Sunshine coming my way. Nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day. Perfect day. This day is a lot like Ice Cubes, but definitely much less gangster. With a start like this on a day like this, it's good to be this white boy prankster. I don't push a Benz, love my VW, drive an old drop top, it's what I love to do. And it gives me to work on time to say hello to you on your radio. Mad money, no, but I love what I do on the radio. Hear me yell the whole night through. I'm feeling so lucky that I can be the voice that you hear in this great big city. I rock on your radio, then head home. My puppy's gonna meet me at the door. So excited for a moonlight walk. I think they've never done this before, and it's all good. Sunshine coming my way. Nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day. Perfect day. Sunshine coming my way. Nothing's gonna change how I feel today. Nothing's gonna get in the way of my perfect day. Perfect day. It's all what you make of it. It's all what you make of it, yeah. It's all what you make of it.
and Donald Fagen met in 1967 at Bard College in New York when Fagen heard Becker playing guitar and asked if he wanted to be in a band. The pair soon began playing in local groups together, including the Leather Canary, which included future SNL cast member Chevy Chase on drums. After Fagen graduated in 1969, the two moved to Brooklyn and got their first professional gig working on the soundtrack to the Richard Pryor film, You've Got to Walk It Like You Talk It or You'll Lose That Beat. They also wrote Barbra Streisand's 1971 song, I Mean to Shine. In 1972, Becker and Fagen moved to L.A. to become songwriters and joined with guitarist Denny Diaz and Jeff Skunk Baxter, drummer Jim Hodder, and singer David Palmer to form Steely Dan, taking the name from the book Naked Lunch. Their debut album, Can't Buy a Thrill, was released in 1972, spawning hit singles Reelin' in the Years and Do It Again. All things Steely Dan, info, music, and more are on iHeartRadio, keyword Steely Dan.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to discuss that even though there were generational difficulties, his father was always quite supportive.
You know, you've got to understand, I'm sure it's the same over here, but in the UK, in England, you know, that generational change from my father's era to my era, you know, he was the English Empire days, 2 world wars. It was hard to communicate. There was a big divide between us. It's just, there was no dialogue really. You couldn't discuss things because there was no sort of platform to share conversation with him. But no, he was supportive, and in a way, you know, given that he hadn't got a clue what I was doing, you know, what parent did in those days, you know, music, long hair and a guitar, he was given that. He was very supportive.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Like most kids from a privileged white upper-middle-class suburban background, for a significant portion of his childhood, he was pretty convinced he was down. AG on the radio.
Alrighty then. What's the title of today's show, Funkhauser?
The Kindness Conundrum.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a little too Monday to talk about kindness, so let's just go straight to the news. Let's talk about the events of today in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair, certainly not balanced. How are you? How was your weekend? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, man. I did the rain dance, and the rain came, and I felt like Annie Lennox in my driveway.
Wow, that's a really 80s reference. Here comes the rain again.
It took 2 or 3 lines until the girlfriend figured out what I was doing. Look at all this falling on me like a memory.
Very good, very good.
Other than that, it was good, man. It's winter time. Everything's cold, so there's that.
Are you in a Christmassy sort of mood?
It's happening too quickly this year. I can't keep up financially speaking.
Oh, right. Yeah. This might get you feeling holly and or jolly.
Already I do.
And now goats that scream like people. Ready?
It's a classic.
It is classic.
Anyway, I can listen to that all day, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, wait. Here's the crescendo. Ready for it?
Seasons.
If that doesn't restore your appropriate attitude toward the joyous Yuletide season, I don't know what will.
I did some Christmas lights looking at. That's a thing.
Oh yeah. Did you go to like every city in every city across America has a candy cane lane where the people take it entirely too seriously? Where'd you go? Was it any good?
Hastings Ranch. It was so good, like too good. Like there's real Santas on the street and folding chairs waving at cars going by.
Was it like a really? Was it like a? It's at a rich neighborhood. I don't know.
Yeah. It's up in the hills and like the entire like hundreds of houses get involved and stuff. I always laugh because there's always that one house in between like 5 houses that went all out. That one house that didn't. You know, the one that's just there's no lights on at all and bah humbug
or something. Yeah. That's funny. I always think it's funny because like there's always these lanes full of people that like in Houston, Texas, there's like this one neighborhood called River Oaks, and that's populated. There's the highest concentration of millionaires in River Oaks than like in all of America. Highest concentration of millionaires, and I think most of the people are in the energy business, or some people are like, hey, back in the day we brought Toyota to America, and now we get a piece of every single Toyota sold. And they do rather well for themselves. And so, like, all these houses are decked out like you wouldn't believe. And then, paupers like you and I roll through and look at them. And so it's like it's got to be this weird unspoken thing for people that are just unfathomably rich in this one neighborhood. This is like, yep, we're gonna have somebody else decorate our houses, and then poor people are gonna come and look at them all Christmas long. I wonder how they feel about that. Because you see people, it's not like there's somebody giving tours, but there's just basically like tons and tons of beat to hell minivans of sad, bedraggled looking families with, like their cars and modes of transportation are held together by duct tape, and they're like, look at the pretty lights in the billionaire's home. And I'm one of them. So it's an interesting one, but I always wonder what the mental sort of like preparation that the billionaires do as they get ready for the unwashed masses to roll through Candy Cane Lane and look at their houses is like they're staring. I know they're going to be doing that till January. Just get used to it. They're staring. Ho ho ho. I'm glad you did that. That sounds good. That sounds like a fun time. That sounds like it'll get you in that Christmas spirit. Do you have any decorations up?
No, but I live in the city where the Tournament of Roses parade happens. So I don't know if that's a national thing anymore, but like the whole city gets all festive and stuff. So I tend to just go around the city and stuff. I don't really do anything. Don't hang up anything.
You and a Canadian Jane any closer to getting married?
Well, I guess so. If you're thinking in relations of time, but I don't know.
You're still together. Only because you can get free $10,000 if you get married.
Really?
Yeah. You don't have to pay it back.
How does that happen?
There's this new company that's going to give you a loan for your wedding, and you don't have to pay it back unless one thing happens. What is it? We'll discuss it after the news. See what I did there? Radio tease. All right. What's going on in the world?
The final Republican debate of 2015 goes down tomorrow night.
I was looking at the calendar.
What's that, the 15th?
Realizing.
16th?
I was just looking at the calendar and realizing how far it is until November of 2016. We have I'm exhausted already. Like, I just, every day it's something, and it's just like, I think what it is that the media has realized it's a real-time event that commands a lot of clicks and ratings and things like that. So they're just going effing nuts with it. And look, hey, we're deciding the leader of the free world and the president of these United States of America, and, we want a participatory democracy, and this should not be taken lightly, but holy crap, I'm bored of it already. And then I realized, we got another year of these freaking blowhards. Does it really take that long to sell yourself? I think each candidate should get, half hour on PBS. And it's just if you can't convince me in that amount of time, you're done. And this whole idea of what channel is this next debate on, Funkhauser? Do you know?
I don't know.
I'll never forget really being interested to watch the first Republican debate of this season, and that was on Fox News. And so, like, I'm in the studio, I'm on the air at one of the other stations I work for, making the rock happen, but also kind of curious to see how this all goes. In fact, very curious. And, you know, being sort of like, you know, a responsible tax-paying American, I want to see what my options are this time out. And I go to watch it, can't watch it. Because, like, I guess the people that pay the cable bill around here have decided that the news department needs Fox News, but the guy in the rock station does not. So I was like, oh, that's okay. I'll just watch the debate on the internet. That's no problem. Couldn't find any example of it. And then I found a live stream of it that was, you know, somebody's phone pointed at something else, and that got shut down quickly.
Periscope,
and then I was just
or
like,
something, yeah.
this is America. This is supposed to be a participatory democracy. What if you're a cable cutter? Snippety snip. Oh wait, I don't get to know what candidates have what to say. Like, it's just the fact that it's become this thing for like cable television ratings. Look, I mean, I get it, free market and all that, but like, you know, suppose you don't have cable, you know, suppose you can't, like, it should be, anybody that has a TV should be able to watch the debates. And that was the first clue to me that this was going to be a runaway example of crass commercialism as opposed to what democracy was supposed to be all about. I'm still interested in it, but I looked at it and I was just like, a year of this crap to go, a year of these morons, basically all of them, self-serving, idiotic morons just trumpeting on about, like, whatever the hell they want to, that thinks they're going to appease public opinion for the next 10 minutes, and then coming up with another lie. I was just like, I have had it. But yeah, final Republican debate of 2015 goes down tomorrow night. Donald Trump will try not to do anything to sink his numbers, so you can rule out things like logic, reason, tolerance. Go on.
It's going to air on CNN, by the way, tomorrow night.
So CNN comes with basic cable, you know. At least you don't have to pay for that, right? You get CNN no matter what. Am I correct?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you just go to the airport.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I have to buy a plane ticket to watch the debate. Fantastic. Go on.
The president of the UFC has endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually going to help Trump's numbers, though. I thought about this. I was like, the UFC, well, that's, you know, yeah. And then I realized Donald Trump already had the brain damage vote locked up, and it doesn't really make a freaking difference to him. You know, like, I got to try and find the audio during the break, but did you see what Michael Che did on Weekend Update on SNL?
No.
I thought it was like the best approximation of the Donald Trump campaign ever. And he sort of like expressed why he didn't think Donald Trump was actually a racist. I was like, wow, he really, really hit the nail on the head with that one. We'll discuss what he said if I manage to find the audio a little later on, but what else?
A 7th grader in Texas got in trouble at school for wearing a Star Wars shirt with a picture of a stormtrooper holding a ray gun.
Really? Wow. Huh. I guess he's young. You can chalk it up to being a Wookiee mistake. Can't wear a Star Wars shirt to school. Go on.
A woman was stabbed at a Florida nudist resort.
Yeah. Well done. Florida, you've out-Florida'd yourself. Stabbed at a nudist resort. I would imagine the cops are still trying to find out who did it and where they hid the knife. Go on.
Martin Shkreli.
Yeah.
Martin Shkreli?
Yeah. Martin Shkreli's the guy who sort of like bought the drug and hiked it up.
That
like,
dude.
Yeah.
Well, he's planning to hike up the price of yet another life-saving drug.
Shkreli can expect company for the holidays. You know, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. Go on.
Because he's that guy? I get it.
Yeah.
There's a new album featuring goats singing Christmas carols. We premiered it today earlier on the show.
Yeah.
Fun for the entire family. It sounds like our morning show prep.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that sounds like me getting ready to go on the air. Well, I, for one, think it's nice that Fran Drescher is working. Go on.
A new survey shows half the tourists who visit Colorado do so because of legalized marijuana.
Yeah. Legalizing it. The legalization of marijuana is several shows all on its own, but it's just like, look at the amount of tourism dollars they're generating. And Colorado's a nice place to visit in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, there's skiing there. It's beautiful. They've got all these sort of like bodies of water where you can see all the way to the bottom because, you know, for whatever reason they haven't managed to F that up yet. It's interesting. It's kind of cool. The other half did not respond to the survey because they're entirely too stoned. Go on.
A new study says texting can make you temporarily deaf. Explain that.
Yeah. What? Said everyone under the age of 35? Continue.
Kris Jenner wants to trademark #ProudMama.
Yeah.
But there's a jewelry company that already owns that name, Proud Mama.
Yeah, she wants to. Yeah. So I guess, you know, Kris Jenner's left with one of two options, rather. She can either fight for the name in court or go instead with the hashtag of shameless fame whoring my daughter's mama, which I think is still available. Go on.
For a limited time.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber reportedly invited 4 British girls back to his London hotel room.
Yeah. And it was the most fun night ever, squealed One Direction. Kind of go on.
Lindsay Lohan, yeah, poses nude in No Tofu magazine.
The hell is No Tofu magazine?
I have to subscribe.
No Tofu magazine. I'm shocked she did this. You know, go a few months without posing naked. People don't understand why she did it, but let me explain. She was paid money, and money buys cocaine.
This is USA Radio News. I'm Melody Burkett. President Obama hosts a national security meeting at the Pentagon today to discuss the war against ISIS. White House spokesman Josh Earnest says the president will make a statement on counterterrorism after the meeting. On Thursday, Obama will travel to the National Counterterrorism Center for a briefing on homeland security threats. Both trips come as the president faces growing criticism over his anti-ISIS strategy. The healthcare.gov open enrollment deadline for coverage starting the first of the year is tomorrow. Healthcare.gov CEO Kevin Conahan says they're encouraging folks to beat the rush.
The reason why is because that's the last date that people can sign up for coverage effective January 1st. And most people, for obvious reasons, want to be covered for a full year, so they want to be covered at the beginning of the year.
He says there's financial assistance available to help pay for monthly premiums. He says about 8 out of 10 people are eligible for financial assistance when they sign up. This is USA Radio News. I'm Melody Burkett.
Hi, it's Angie Austin with Daybreak USA. I'll be honest, when I first received the Ovation Cell Therapy System, I wasn't sure what to expect, but I'll be absolutely 100% honest. I love it. It makes my hair so much thicker and fuller. It smells great. And this year's holiday gift set from Ovation includes the 3-bottle cell therapy system, plus the new detangling spray, the thermal protection spray that I use when I blow dry, and the Ovation wet dry brush, which my girls absolutely love. It just glides right through your hair. All of this in a gorgeous holiday gift box. It's really pretty. And it's specially priced this year. You'll save over 50% off the retail value. So if you'd like to get the holiday gift box set that includes all the items I just mentioned, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. It's 5 items in there plus the brush, so it makes it 6. Go to ovationhair.com, ovationhair.com, and don't forget to put in Angie Austin from Daybreak USA when you click at checkout for a discount. ovationhair.com.
What's trending? In the NFL on Sunday Night Football, the Patriots beat the Texans 27-16. New England's now 11-2 on the year. They have clinched a playoff spot, the only AFC team to do that so far. And they're also back on top in the AFC playoff picture as far as the seeding goes. They're number 1 because they won, and the Broncos and the Bengals both lost. Speaking of the Bengals, they fell at home to the Steelers 33-20. Quarterback Andy Dalton left this game with a fractured thumb on his throwing hand. His season is likely over, but he will see a specialist later today. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh improves to 8-5, but they're still on the outside looking in at the playoffs because the Jets and the Chiefs both won, and they both have the tiebreaker over Pittsburgh for the moment. The Panthers beat the Falcons 38-0. Carolina now 13-0 on the year. Cam Newton with 3 touchdown passes in that win. Redskins over the Bears, 24-21. Washington is back on top in the NFC East. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are Fox Sports.
iHeartRadio puts the spotlight on Green Day. Green Day traces its roots to Sweet Children, a band childhood friends Billy Joe Armstrong and Mike Dern formed when they were 15. They changed their name to Green Day, slang term for marijuana, and drummer John Kiffmeyer joined the group. The renamed band became an underground success, primarily by playing at punk club 924 Gilman Street in Berkeley, California. Kiffmeyer left in 1990 to attend college and was replaced by the Lookouts drummer Trey Cooley. The new lineup first recorded together on Kerplunk, released in 1993.
Welcome to paradise.
It led to a major label contract for Green Day, but many of their original fans at the Gilman Club thought they had sold out, and the club banned the group from appearing. Dookie, their major label debut, was recorded in only 3 weeks and released in 1994. Green Day played Woodstock 94, where they started a notorious mud fight. Insomniac was released the next year. The title came from Armstrong's own sleep problems. In 1997, Green Day released Nimrod, which became a hit due to the success of Good Riddance, Time of Your Life.
I hope you had the time of your life.
All things Green Day, info, music, and more are on iHeartRadio, keyword Green Day.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to talk about why he felt the documentary Genesis, Some of the Parts, was worthy of production.
People forget from that one band, school band, you had the Gabriel career, the Collins, the Mechanics career, and then you put songs together. This is the key. You see a list of songs and you kind of go, In the Air Tonight, Invisible Touch, Living Years, Biko, and you kind of go, that's a great combination of songwriting. And so in a way, this documentary tries to sort of cement that a little bit. Because I meet people still these days who say to me, you mean you're the Mike and the Mechanics? They don't tie it in all the time. So in a way, this documentary, I think, helps do that.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford.
Now, more AD on the radio.
Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. Nobody rock a party better than me. Back once again, the ill behavior, delivering and giving you a musical savior. Back once again, it's your boy AD again. Nobody rock a party better than me.
All right, so if you're willing to get married, Funkhauser, there's some folks that. Sorry, I just got a tweet from Roy Shelton who said, "Too much agreement may kill the chat, but depending on the person, sometimes you just want the conversation to end." Yeah, interesting stuff. So. There's an organization, Funkhauser, that if you're willing to get married to Canadian Jane, will give you $10,000. $10,000 just for getting hitched. There is a catch, and we'll get to what that catch is. But here's the thing. Yeah, if you do it right, you don't have to ever pay that money back. It's just there to pay for your wedding. Anyways, we'll get to that in just a little bit. Right now, though, let's continue to roll through the events of today in our segment, My Witness News. In no way, shape, or form fair. Certainly not balanced. What else is going on in the world?
Star Wars and Disney movie action figures are among the top-selling Christmas toys of 2015.
Yeah. It's really kind of impossible to beat. In fact, other toys are noticeably not faring as well this holiday gift buying season. Yeah, least popular Christmas toys like Jihad Barbie and Rock'em Sock'em Rednecks and My Little Islamophobe and Little Extremist First Koran and Oprah and Gail's Totally Platonic Dream House and Don't Tickle Me There Elmo and the Jay-Z Bake Oven. They're not doing as well. Go on.
Did you see that clip of the bald eagle trying to attack Donald Trump?
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah. The other toy that's not doing as well this holiday season, Hungry Adele's. Go on. Oh, yeah. Sorry, it's cheap. The clip of the bald eagle trying to attack Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know what that eagle's name is? Funkhauser has a name.
What's the name?
The eagle that attacked Donald Trump. His name is Uncle Sam. Although since I think his name's been changed to Giant Metaphor. Go on.
A new study has determined why some people are charismatic. You hear that, ladies?
Yeah. First ever study conducted exclusively by ignoring Jeb Bush. Do you consider yourself to be a charismatic person, Funkhauser?
Right here in this room, I'm super charismatic. Look at you. Yeah.
Do you think you're a charismatic person in general?
No.
No.
Do you?
Do I think you're charismatic? Yes.
Do you think you're charismatic?
Oh, no.
See, a hard question to answer yourself. You know?
Yeah, no. I think some people might think so until they meet me and realize what a giant, boring letdown I am. Like, I think people hear you on the radio, and it's just like I think people get an impression of you being sort of happy-go-lucky, and as Jerry Seinfeld once said, no, I'm not happy, I'm not lucky, and I don't go. So I think, and it's interesting because, like, I went and had dinner once after a gig with a friend, and that friend had a friend or a hanger-on or something like that, and they came along. They're like, I'm so excited to meet you. I was like, yeah, thrilling, isn't it? And they're like, it's, like you're so deadpan on the air. It's like you really don't, care about a whole lot. Like not much. And I was just like, yeah. And then afterwards, they were like, you really are like that in real life. I was like, that's how I am on the air is exactly how I am in real life. And I was like, it's not as much fun to hang out with as you thought, is it? And he was like, not really. I was like, see, there you go. So I think, the idea is charismatic. Charismatic works on the radio, but when you're actually I don't know. I think Funkhauser and I think you and I have appealing characters. Like we're fun to listen to. We're fun to listen to, but we're not the most thrill-a-minute folks to hang out with. I don't think. Well, at least I'm not. Are you? You go places, you do stuff, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I do things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this thing I want you to do. I can't get you out. The whole Seinfeld couch thing.
I would love to go to the Seinfeld apartment, but it's just it's happening during the craziest work week of the year. I got to attend a local. Oh God, this is the hell I'm going through. I have to attend a local battle of the bands. Somehow I got roped into this. Yeah.
So you go on stage and go, yeah, our next artist.
No,
brought a goose with them.
No. I don't even get to host it. I have to judge it. Which means I have to
really interesting. That sounds fun.
I think there's $1,000 prize at the end of it, and it's just I don't mind being a part of this sort of thing, and I love supporting local musicians. It's harder than ever before to make a crust being a musician, and if we can in some way, shape, or form make it easier for those musicians, then great. But the bottom line is when you have to judge something, you're judging someone's art, and every one of these guys thinks they're a rock star, that they're God's gift, that they're just a little exposure away, that they're a battle of the bands away from being immortal rock superstars that can fill stadiums full of adoring fans to hear their fantastic music. And if you say no, then these are the people that turn around and slash your tires. So it's just I'm just not. I
have a request for you. I just want one band. I want you to stand up and go, I'm afraid you guys are just too darn loud.
I'm afraid you guys are just too darn loud.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Next, please.
And it's just I want to be honest. I'm trying to work out things I can say that are honest. Be like, I remember when we were in a band and we were touring and you'd get the local openers and some of them were amazing and I actually a couple local openers I managed to get a record deal, which was kind of cool, but a lot of the local openers are not, and they if they get a chance to open for a national band whose song they've heard on the radio, they expectantly come to you after their set and go, what'd you think? And a lot of the time, they just weren't any good. So you got to come up with something that you can say that doesn't sound awful, but is truthful at the same time, because you want to burn for eternity in the fiery pits of hell for lying to someone. So I found all these sort of ways of you were so on that stage, man. You were so on that stage. Your bass player had the coolest shoes. Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
But in reality, you're singing this song.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is a song I wrote about local bands. And next, the Ass Clowns. Never heard of them and unsigned for a reason.
That's not what the word music means, that's not how you use it. You gave it a shot, you tried your best just sucked without enough, so hang it up, just give it up. It's time somebody let you know that you will never be good enough. You will never be one of us, you will never be good enough, you know why? Your band sucks, and you're going nowhere, and that's why no one cares. And you should be aware, you should know your band sucks, so go get a day job.
iHeartRadio shines the spotlight on Rush.
I will choose up my last career. I will choose free will.
Rush was formed in August 1968 in the Willowdale neighborhood of Toronto. The original lineup included Alex Lifeson on guitar, Jeff Jones on bass, and John Rutsey on drums. Jones was soon replaced by Geddy Lee. And in 1974, after the release of the group's debut album, Rutsey left and was replaced by Neil Peart. That lineup, Lee on vocals, bass, and keyboards, Lifeson on guitar, and Peart on drums, has remained stable throughout the years. The group played around on the Toronto scene for a few years and then, in 1973, released its first single, a cover of Buddy Holly's Not Fade Away.
I'm gonna show you how it's gonna be. And y'all gonna give it all to me. Give me love and every night and day. Love is leaving on the radio.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Rush and all your favorite artists. iHeartRadio shines the spotlight on the Rolling Stones.
Their album Sticky Fingers in 1971 began a string of 8 consecutive studio albums, reaching #1 in the United States. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted the Rolling Stones in 1989, and Rolling Stone magazine ranked them 4th on the 100 Greatest Artists of All Time list, with album sales estimated at more than 200 million worldwide. It's been over 50 years, and the Rolling Stones are still a force to be reckoned with.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Rolling Stones and all your favorite artists.
Now, someone who everybody wants to punch in the face. AD on the radio.
All right, Funkhauser, let's roll through what remains of the news, and then we'll discuss why you can get $10,000 for marrying Canadian Jane if you choose to go down that route.
That route?
That route. Oh, she's Canadian. Would you go down a route?
I think a route is the right.
A route?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Connecticut will ban gun sales to people whose names are on the no-fly list.
Yeah, it kind of sort of seems like a no-brainer. If your name's on a no-fly list, you maybe shouldn't be allowed to purchase a firearm. I was shocked when that was the big move after San Bernardino shootings. I was just like, okay, so wait a second. People that are on a no-fly list now can buy guns? And then there was the interesting observation that the people that did the San Bernardino shootings were on no list whatsoever. So it's not exactly dealing with a problem at hand, but taking care of a piece of common sense.
They're on Santa's naughty list.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyways, yeah, Connecticut banning gun sales to people whose names are on the no-fly list. Unfortunately, I think in Connecticut, you're placed on a no-fly list for wearing white after Labor Day. Go on.
Monique.
Yeah, Monique.
Monique turned 48 last week.
Yeah. She celebrated with her younger, smaller sister. Less neek.
Not funny.
You want to get her a gift, you can't go wrong with a pointless apostrophe. Go on.
Kim Kardashian is breastfeeding her son, Saint.
Yep. Only lost him twice so far. Excellent track record. Happiest, healthiest 125-pound infant you've ever seen. Go on.
A new study found that kinky people are mentally and emotionally healthy.
Yep. Apparently, if you're into the freaky deaky, that you tend to be more mentally and emotionally healthy. You deal with people professionally in your other life that are into the freaky deaky.
Uh-huh.
Do you find that they are more mentally and emotionally healthy?
Yeah. I find that.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be happy and wonderful to be around.
The study was conducted by the American Federation of Scientists who've never heard of Charlie Sheen. Go on.
Thieves have been targeting California's nut industry.
Yeah, I heard about this. Been stealing all sorts of delicious Christmas filbert meat treats from California nut farmers. Nut farmers. Speaking of missing nuts, haven't heard that much about Caitlyn Jenner recently. Go on.
I wonder where they are. I can't find. Put them right here where I left them the night before.
Bernie Sanders underwent hernia surgery.
Yeah. Hernias cause irritability and stoop posture and limited mobility. So, obvious question being, how do doctors know he's cured? All right, one more piece of news.
A Montana man assaulted his wife with elk antlers for not driving him to a strip club. You want me to say that again?
Yeah. Let's just let that one sink in.
A Montana man assaulted his wife with elk antlers for not driving him to a strip club.
Yep. Charged with one count of being entirely too Montana. All right, Funkhauser. You want to know how you can cash in?
Yes,
want
please.
to know how you can cash in? So there's this new company that will give you a loan for your wedding. If you ask any couple if their marriage is going to last forever, they're going to tell you, of course it will. Yeah, of course. But will you, when you go to make the big mistake, when you enter into the world of matrimony, when you do the whole nuptials thing, would you be willing to bet big money on that? Because there's a new startup that's going to pay you to find out. This company in Seattle, it's called Swan Love, SWANLUV. Swan Love is going to give you a loan for your wedding. $10,000. Hey, Funkhauser, a $10,000 loan sounds good.
That's a new car almost.
Yeah, well, you got to pay it back, though, generally speaking, when you get a $10,000 loan. So, I mean, I wouldn't want a $10,000 loan. I would just want the $10,000 because that to me is $10,000 worth of debt. You know what I mean? It's just, you're going to have to pay interest on that. And wait. Nope, Swan Love. They're going to give you a loan for your wedding up to $10,000, and you don't have to pay it back unless you get divorced. Then you owe the money plus interest.
There's the catch.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a catch. You got to stay married. Plus interest, yeah. And way to profit off of human failing. The CEO of Swan Love said they ran the numbers and they can be profitable with this model. Saying, quote, it comes back to statistics. We have the right odds, so we're going to be okay. But the odds aren't too crazy, so people are still going to bite. When you apply, they're going to evaluate how strong of a couple you are. Then they're going to base the amount of the loan and your interest rate off of that. And then there's going to be clauses, like if the marriage ends because of abuse, the abuser has to pay the full amount. If you're interested, you can pre-register at swanlove.com, Funkhauser. That's swanlove.com.
I'm on it.
SWANLUV.com. They start giving out loans officially in March.
In March? Okay, yeah. I have some time then.
Yeah, you got some time. Good stuff. You know what? Let's have a little bit more Christmas music. As we get ready to spend this most wonderful time of the year with our friends, family, and loved ones, that could possibly mean a little bit of airline travel. If you're... If you're not planning on going over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house for yummy turkey and palpable tension between you and the relatives that you secretly despise but put up with twice a year during the holidays, you might be traveling via plane. And if you are traveling via plane, this will make you want to walk. This guy, I guess, essentially really needs to discover the joyousness of coffee. You hear about this dude, Funkhauser? His name's Breen Peck. Breen Peck. He is an air traffic controller in Westbury, New York. He's 52 years old, and he works at a radar station that handles flights in and out of New York airports. All the New York airports, some of the biggest, most busy airports on the face of the planet. This guy is in charge of air traffic control out of airports like JFK and LaGuardia. I wonder if Newark as well. Anyways, he was driving this past Wednesday just gone by in Long Island and got pulled over for illegal window tinting and not using a turn signal.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Well, I mean, it's just like if it's legal, like it's not hard to spot illegally tinted windows. If you illegally tint your windows, people can see that. I don't know why anyone in this day and age would do that. I mean, I get that it looks cool, but if it's legal, I mean, maybe you came in from one state where it's legal and another one it's not. So I guess that could be a way that happens. But it sounds like this guy's been living in Long Island for a little while, being an air traffic controller. And I remember when I used to live in New York, it was illegal to tint your windows. So yeah, he was busted for illegal window tinting and not using a turn signal. Then the cops found, wait for it, a loaded gun behind his seat and meth in his pocket. What would your, if you got caught with meth, Funkhauser, what do you suppose your excuse would be?
I thought it was baking soda.
Right. I'm holding it for a friend.
What
This
is
guy,
that? How did that get in here?
Yeah. This guy went with, I smoke it to stay awake. I'm an air traffic controller. Which is a little unsettling if you, like me, just purchased a ticket to go travel somewhere during the joyous freaking Yuletide season. He was arrested for drug and weapon charges. The FAA also says that they're investigating. It's hard to imagine they're going to let him keep his job. But apparently he was already on really shaky ground. Not shaking because of the meth, but because of errors he made, probably because of meth. He almost directed a United flight right into a smaller jet with a congressman on it back in 2010. And in 2011, and this is the thing that freaks me the hell out about this story the most. I mean, it's bad that an air traffic controller smokes meth to stay awake because he's an air traffic controller. That's not a good thing. But the fact is, he's an air traffic controller who managed to keep his job after he almost directed a United flight into a smaller jet with a congressman back in 2010. And after continuing to keep his job, in 2011, he let a flight with Michelle Obama on it, the first lady, get too close to a military cargo plane, and it had to abort its landing. He's made big mistakes in the world of air traffic controlling and maintains his employment. Funkhauser, didn't you get fired from K-Rock in Los Angeles back in the day for dropping a 10-second commercial?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, air traffic controller almost kills the first lady, smokes meth on the job to stay awake, and is still employed.
Life's not fair, man.
No, it's really not. It is really not. Do we want to get into the human kindness thing today? I've calmed down a little bit.
You might as well. You got a couple minutes here.
Just kind of, all right. So I don't know if you saw this or not. There's this company in Houston that I'm sure has no problems with morale and loyalty and recruitment and retention. They're a Houston-based oil and natural gas exploration company. They're called Hillcore. And they awarded every single one of their 1,381 employees a $100,000 bonus after the company met its 5-year goal. And the $100,000 is going to be prorated based on hire date. So if you weren't with the company on the whole time, you're still going to get a piece of the action. The receptionist is getting a $100,000 bonus. Her name's Amanda Thompson. She said this isn't the first time the company has awarded generous bonuses to employees. She said back in 2010, the company met a 5-year goal and all the employees were treated to their choice of a $50,000 car or a $35,000 check. The goal the company set 5 years ago was to double their oil field production rate, net oil and gas reserves, and equity value over 5 years, and that had been met by the end of 2015. That had to be met by the end of 2015, rather, but they reached their goal back in the spring. And the employees are like, it's a true gift. I think of myself, as long as everybody else is not going to give any less than 100% each day. And the people that work there said the president of the company, Greg Laliker, and Jeff Hildebrand, the folks that run the company, said they're amazing motivators. No kidding. If you told you were going to hit a 5-year goal that would get you $100,000, Funkhouse, you'd probably work, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. See? There you go. And you know what's interesting? This happened in Houston, where people they want to secede from America like you wouldn't believe. They want to secede from America, be their own country like you wouldn't believe. Texas wants to secede. Houston wouldn't mind seceding from Texas. Get your hands off my guns and my money. Stay off my lawn and let me conduct business in this free market economy is the overriding sentiment there. But yet they're some of the most aggressively compassionate people I have ever met. When I was there during Hurricane Katrina, I've never seen an outpouring of compassion that way. And what's very interesting is, and I think it's very telling for all of us here in America, this level of kindness. We're going to give $100,000 to each one of our employees, even the receptionist, because we've all made money and we want everybody to do well. That level of kindness, that exists in so many people. But when you tell someone you're going to do this or you are obligated to do it, that takes it away. They don't want social programs there. They want to reach into their pocket and hand money over themselves. And it's an interesting conundrum because they get very protective and very prickly when you suggest that you're going to take more money out of their hard-earned dollar via taxes and funnel it into social programs. Because why? Because they don't get any choice or say in the matter. But when given an option to give, so many people in this country will reach deep into their pocket and give someone the shirt on their back. They just don't want to be told to do it. They don't want to be told how they love. Human kindness has never weakened the stamina or softened the fiber of a free people. A nation does not have to be cruel to be tough. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Have an awesome one.